Hi. 29 years ago today, I was arrested for a double murder. The night before, New Year's Eve, December 31st, 1992, I was with somebody that committed that double murder. And I was a coward and did not know how to either get myself out of it or prevent those two people from dying. Those two people did not have to die. I was a coward and didn't stop it. I was a different person back then, a much different person. I was caught up in my addictions, alcoholism, cocaine use. I lived on the street for a little bit, ended up in a shelter, and my own stupid thinking told me that if I go along with this plan and I get this money and put it in my pocket, I'll be a much bigger man and a better person. I'll be able to get back on my feet. I'll be able to get everything that I had before I ended up in a shelter. Well, that's not what happened. That is definitely not what happened. I spent 28 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. 28 years that were not always easy. They weren't always hard, but they taught me an awful lot. They taught me how to be a man. They taught me how to be accountable for my actions. They taught me the responsibility of saying what you mean and mean what you say. They taught me so many things. But it is only through God's grace that I am the man that I am today. You see, today is New Year's Day, January 1st, 2022, and I'm free. I'm home. I have surrounded myself these past it'll be 9 months tomorrow because April 2nd of 2021 is when I was released. So tomorrow will make 9 months that I will be free, that I will be on parole. I still have 2.5 years left to go on parole. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. I've made the changes that were necessary, that were needed. I not always wanted to make the change, but I needed to make the change. I was at 7 different facilities in Illinois when I was in prison. 7 facilities that each in its own right taught me many things. But the last 10 years of my incarceration is when I actually started working on self. You see, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because, yes, even though I was in prison, there were times that I was still getting drunk and high. Just because you're in prison, addictions do not stop. I have many, many people to thank for me to be at the place that I am today. I find myself surrounded by not just my family, my mom and my brother, but an extended church family. A family that did not know me prior to my release. But God knew the plans He had for me. For me to be home today, I don't forget what I did. I don't deny what I did because I took responsibility for what I did, or better off, what I did not do. But I do know this. that God is not done with me. You see, in these 9 months that I've been home, yes, it has not always been easy. There has been struggles. But you take it day by day and you don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow and you just live for this moment, this time, things are so much easier. Many times I have thought about what I would be doing at this point in time. Well, I'm not doing what I wanted to do, but I'm doing what I need to do. You see, 3 months ago, I became a certified volunteer with the Tennessee Department of Corrections. What does that mean? It means that somebody on parole can go into any Tennessee Department of Corrections facility and speak about addictions, about God's grace, to communicate to others that are on a path towards destruction that they need not be chained. Because you see, for one, we're not put on this earth to live by ourselves. Pride will kill you. Pride will steal everything from you. Pride will just put you in the deepest pit that you can dig for yourself. Like I said, many people have gotten me to this point. From the counselors and staff in the various facilities, especially the last facility. There were staff members that believed in me, just like they believe in so many others that go through the facilities. But they only believed in me because they saw the change. They saw the changes that I wanted to make within myself, the changes that I wanted to make for those that were living the same way as I was, the changes that I wanted to make for those who were entering their communities after being incarcerated. So I thank you. The facility that I'm talking about is Murfreesboro Life Skills Reentry Center in Murfreesboro, Illinois. Because you see, it takes so many people to put time and effort into one person. I had that, just like many of those that are in that facility and other facilities across this country. Time and effort is being placed upon each and every one of you because staff sees the potential. Staff sees the good in you. But the only way for them to see it and believe in you is for you to show it, and not just lip service, not just faking it to make it, not just going with the flow, just trying to stay under the radar. Because trust me, the hardest thing to do in the penitentiary is to be different. Because when you're different, you stand out. When you're different, people talk about you. When you're different, you start to change. And when you change, others around you see the change and they want that change and they start changing for themselves. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. But I have so many things today to be thankful for. You see, 2021 just ended yesterday, last night. I began last year in a penitentiary. I finished that year in my community. I'm starting a new year, a new rest of my life doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's getting the word out that change is possible. Because through change, you affect everybody around you. And when everybody else around you sees that you're trying to change, that you're putting the time and effort into that change, you're treated a little bit differently. Like I said, I'm not perfect. This is only the second video that I'm making. The first one was my church testimony. But today, 29 years after I was arrested, or as after I was rescued, I am a new man because I put forth the effort. I was tired of the status quo. I was tired of going with the majority. Because when you're the minority, when you're about change in not only your life, my life, but in the lives around you, the population starts to grow because it's infectious. Because there is something bigger than me. There is something bigger than self. And when we come to realize that is exactly it, that it is not me, life is just a little bit easier. Because what I do today not only affects just me, but it affects everybody around me. Everybody. Change is possible. Change is real. Just like addictions are real. Just like jail and prison is real. Just like all of the garbage that we ever thought and believed in and we took part in. That's real. But one thing's for sure. The past does not have to dictate what I or you do today or tomorrow. Let me say that again. The past does not have to dictate what you do today or tomorrow. You don't see convict on my forehead. You don't see been to prison, drug addict, alcoholic on my forehead. That's all part of me. That's part of my past. But when you learn about me, the truth comes out. Because all I want to do is help others to see that truth, to see that change is possible. Because if you don't want to change, you're only going to hurt yourself. You're going to go down that rocky road. You're going to go down that path of destruction, and you will be chained. But one thing is for sure. Change is possible. I'm that living example. There's many more things that I'm going to share. Many more things. But I can't do it all at once. So if you're watching this, I believe in you. You matter. If nobody has ever told you that you matter, you matter. You matter because you're breathing. You matter because you still have a life in front of you. You matter because you are the one that has to make the changes necessary to matter. I guess that's the end of this one. Because you matter. Change is possible. If you're going down that path of destruction, just know that you don't have to be chained any longer. Thank you for listening to me, to watching this. I'll be back. You will see many more of these videos. Because all I want to do is communicate to those on a path towards destruction that they need not be chained.